So this is Wellness Education Series class number 4, Essential Oils for Every Age. All right, let's jump right in. So when we talk about every age, we're going to talk about infancy all the way up to what we like to refer to as our glory years, right? So I'm going to call out just a couple of products that we can use at each stage of life. So as we know, doTERRA is the most tested and the most trusted on the market. So they have what we call Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. The acronym is CPTG. And doTERRA recognized that there just wasn't a standard, so they created one, and you can take that standard as that highest level of quality, that potency, that purity, that's going to be there every single time. So when you reach for your oil, you can count that it's going to work for everything that you need it to do. They've gone through great lengths to ensure that their testing is not only that these oils will be the safest, but they'll be the wisest choice of natural healthcare for our family, because the testing has been so wonderful as far as some of the things that aren't even on the market today for testing are being done by doTERRA. And you can see all of the test results online through that QR code, right? So you can scan the bottle and look at those test results. Not that we know exactly what they read, but they are available, so nothing is hidden, and everything's transparent for us to see. And those test results show the purity and the potency. So for infants, right, age 2, from birth to age 2, some of the best oils to use are going to be On Guard Touch and doTERRA's Tamer Blend. Now, On Guard Touch is going to be the On Guard Protective Blend in a touch roller. And when we say touch, that means fractionated coconut oil has been added into the bottle. So when you roll it on, it's already at a dilution ratio that is safe to put on at any age. You can roll it on the bottoms of their feet. And the reason we like to roll things on the bottom of our feet is it's like the information system to the rest of the body. It's going to signal to the brain, to the eyes, to the lungs. So you have all of those signal pathways that resonate like in our ears and in our feet. So rub the oil on the bottoms of the feet and you're going to talk to the rest of the body. Another reason for infancy, why we like to put things on the bottom of the feet, is because the skin is naturally a little bit tougher, a little bit thicker on your hands and your feet. So it's a really good location to apply it. If you're testing for any skin sensitivities or using oils for the first time, putting it on the bottom of the feet is a really great location. And then I like to talk about the Tamer Blend. It is got some really soothing digestive oils in it. So when we're talking about our babies, our kiddos, that's typically number 1 in their book. They're going to always have gas, or maybe they're a little colicky, especially at birth. You can put this Tamer Blend right on their tummy and support their little tummy with their gas, with any of those little aches and pains that the babies go through, and they can't tell us what's wrong. So this is a great one to apply to their tummy as needed. And if you know that they get kind of gassy or they suffer at certain times of the day, you can start to pre-apply it before that and see if you can use it as a proactive approach. So using the roller touch oils on our kiddos, especially our babies, is a fantastic way to support them. And then let's talk about the unscented lotion and a diffuser. So I know when I brought my kiddos home from the hospital, I hadn't found oils yet. So I was using the lotion that's from the shelf with all those fragrances in it. And fragrances are nothing but chemicals these days, especially if they've been added into these products. And that's the one loophole that we have, is fragrance, right? So you can read all the ingredients on your product, except for fragrance, you don't know what's in that. It could be from 2 or 3 chemicals to over 100 chemicals that make up that fragrance. And that loophole is protected by this proprietary trade secret So it's a loophole that our government unfortunately supports, and we don't get to know what's in that list of ingredients. And it has been discussed that those ingredients that are used, those chemicals that are used, are known carcinogens as well as endocrine disruptors. And when we talk about carcinogens, we talk about cancer causing, they interact with the cell in a harmful way that can cause the cell to not act correctly, which comes out in the form of disease. And then when we talk about endocrine disruptors, we're talking about things that interact with the body's reproductive systems, with their hormones. So we're putting things in and on our babies and our children that are going to disrupt their um, growth with hormones, disrupt their cell structures, and potentially over time are very harmful. So I was one of those that did that, right? Just, you think it's safe to buy it off the shelf. So doTERRA came out with an unscented lotion that is natural and very, very great to partner with an essential oil. So you can rub whatever oils on your kiddo with this unscented lotion. So just a squirt of it in the palm of your hand, add a drop of essential oil, rub together, and apply all over baby. Or young kiddos after their baths. So, and then, or on you, right? It doesn't have to just be them. So I use the unscented lotion. Well, I did. Now I'm using the citrus bloom because I'm obsessed with it. But the unscented lotion, and you can put lavender with it for restful sleep. You can add deep blue if your kiddos are going through growing pains, all sorts of those types of things, right? Now, when we talk about the diffuser, we're talking about air purification as well as emotional support. So you're using the diffuser with essential oils in it to clean the air, to clean the environment. And then you're also going to get the emotional benefits as you inhale and breathe. It's going to follow that olfactory nerve in your nose straight into the brain, pass through the blood-brain barrier, hitting the limbic system, and having an impact on your emotions, on your behavior. So when you smell something that reminds you of your childhood, that's activating the limbic system. So wild orange is something that reminds me of my childhood. My early years, I was in California, and so when I smell orange, it reminds me of my backyard and the orange trees that we used to have, and eating fresh oranges picked from the tree. And then in my adult years, I got to go on that Soaring California ride. And as you're riding through it, they mix this essential oil smell of wild orange. And sure enough, it goes through that olfactory nerve right straight to the brain. And I come up with these emotions that you're reliving from that memory. And so it's having an emotional impact on me and even can change behavior. So with our kiddos, when they're learning to express themselves, they don't quite know how to talk yet, but we're learning to express. They're learning their world. When you use diffusion, you can help them to soothe things that are overstimulating or over stressful for them. And then you can also use it to support different times of the day. Rise and shine, you've got energetic ones that are invigorating and stimulating, all the way to sleepy time. You're going to help them to rest and fall asleep using that diffuser as well. So let's jump into and talk a little bit about pregnancy, right? So when we talk about oils for every age, we are talking about the age groups, but we like to call out pregnancy a little bit separate simply because it's such an important and vital stage of growth of that baby and supporting the mom. So during pregnancy, you can take quite a few of doTERRA's products, ranging from the Lifelong Vitality Pack to the Terrazyme and supporting your digestion, and then also taking ones that are really great for the nervous system. So the two I'm going to talk about first, and then I'll have a couple more on the next slide, are Terrazyme, right? When you're going through pregnancy, I know it can be a difficult time. I know for me, food completely changed. Things didn't smell right, and you don't process your food as well. You don't have enough space in your tummy, so you don't get full meals. And your body is prioritizing creating that baby. So having an enzyme added into your daily routine is really going to help you process your food and to digest it. And the coolest thing is that those enzymes are going to pass through you, through the breast milk, into allow baby to have a little bit more settled tummy. So going back to from that pregnancy point all the way into um, helping support a newborn, you're going to pass those enzymes to them and support them at the same time as their little digestive systems are growing. And then copaiba. Copaiba is going to talk to the endocannabinoid system. That's your CB1, CB2 receptors. That's all the brain, the nervous system, the musculoskeletal, the bone structures, all these systems of the body. Copaiba is super soothing and relaxing. So you can take that as you're going through these changes and your body is changing, you're growing in size and your bones are softening, your ligaments are expanding, all sorts of changes that are happening as you're growing this child. So you can use copaiba to support that, but you can also use it once baby's born to help support and boost your milk supply. So take 2 drops underneath the tongue, just drop it underneath the tongue, and it's going to help support you through the whole pregnancy as well as post birth. And the other 2 I like to talk about are basil and fennel. And this is also going to be targeted to help support around a healthy milk supply. And so you can apply that topically. And then peppermint, right? And now peppermint, there is a disclaimer, right? Some people, there have been some studies where they show a decrease in milk supply, but everyone's different. Everybody's body's totally different. So peppermint can be super soothing for us and soothing for the baby, but you do want to use with caution and make sure that it's not going to decrease your milk supply. So everybody's different. Just give it a try and test it out and see if it does have that impact on you. So I like to note that peppermint, use that carefully. So moving right along, let's talk a little bit about moving into the school-aged kiddos. This is going to be, preschool and elementary age and on. There are some fantastic assistance and support that we can get through supplementation and probiotic. doTERRA came out with the kids line, and that PB Assist Junior, it comes in like a little sachet of like a pixie stick almost. They can open that up and they can just take that daily. And that's really going to be targeted and support their gut health. Now, I like to talk about our gut as like an Amazon jungle of bacteria, right? You're going to have all sorts of strains, all sorts of different bacteria in the gut, and they're all there for a purpose. We need that different bacteria. But when we're out of alignment and one bacteria takes over another, or a new bacteria, a bad bacteria is introduced into the gut, it can kill that good bacteria. And so taking a probiotic is going to help reintroduce the good bacteria that we need in our kiddos' digestive system to function properly. And then we have the A to Z, which is their chewable multivitamin, and the IQ Mega. That's going to be their omega 3, 6, and 9 fatty acids. That IQ Mega is going to help to support their cognition, their memory and recollection. So as they're learning and their brains are developing, those omegas are super important in that brain function and cognition. And then on the reverse back end of it, it's super important for their mental health. It's directly tied to emotions and stability. So if you're noticing that your kiddo potentially is suffering from depression, try getting them some additional omegas. And if you can't get it through diet, a lot of our food these days are just, they don't have the nutritional value and density that we need. So that's why supplementation is required. Try the IQ Omega for your kiddo. Get them the 3, 6, and 9 in that perfect balance of the 3, 6, and 9 to support their emotional health and support their brain function. And then that A to Z is going to be a whole food supplement, giving them vitamins and minerals that they need. And when we talk about whole food supplements, when I talk about the Lifelong Vitality, I'll go into more detail about that. A lot of the times you're getting a supplement that is been bioengineered and formulated. It's not a whole food in a pill form. And your body wasn't designed to just process vitamins and minerals by itself. It was designed to process whole foods and extract and utilize those vitamins and minerals. So if we're taking a vitamin supplement that's just packed full of those vitamins and minerals, our body doesn't know how to break it down and process it. So basically, you're spending money for a really expensive pee and you're not using it. You're just eliminating it. So you need a whole food product that your body knows how to break down, knows how to utilize, and is bioavailable in the gut to get those benefits. And so for our kiddos, these three products are going to really support their overall health and well-being from the digestive system all the way to their brain and their cognition and their emotional health. And then On Guard beadlets. These are a great option for your daily immune support. They're small. They can take them down. I used to put them in applesauce, tell the kids not to chew, but swallow it straight down. And it's giving them that immune support. You're really going to help to bolster their immune system, especially during cold and flu season, when they're going to a brand new school or meeting kids for the first time in a new club or at a new church. Using the On Guard beadlets as a preventative measure to really support during different seasons as they grow is a beautiful, beautiful habit to introduce into your life. And then, of course, we have the kids collection. These are already diluted roller bottles that are going to support our kiddos at all different stages of emotion to function. So we have the Thinker blend. We have the Calmer blend, Rescuer, Stronger, Tamer, like we talked about in the infant part, Brave, and Steady. And it comes in a cool little kit with the rubber caps so that they can hook them onto things if they wanted, and a set of flashcards so they can look up their own oil. So it's a two-part thing. When you give your kiddos an oil, you're teaching them how to be responsible and support themselves at the same time as giving them something that's a non-toxic alternative and not have to rely on a Benadryl or children's Tylenol or children's ibuprofen when they're hurting. So Thinker, right? If they are having a hard time paying attention, teach them to grab the Thinker, to recognize within themselves that I'm just not at my best today. I can't seem to pay attention. I can't sit still. Give them a 5-10 minute break, have them drink some water, put on some Thinker, and just the what's that word? Just the action of doing the oil application is going to support them. So not only are the oils going to work, but the action of them stopping, calming down, and doing some self-care. And every time you put an oil on, always cup your hands around your nose and do a nice deep breath, 5 to 10 if you have that time to do that. Sit down and teach your kiddos to do the same thing. So they're applying it to the back of the neck, they're applying it to their pulse points on their chest. Cup your hands together and breathe in nice and deep. Just them doing that action of breathing is going to calm them and bring them back into what they need to do. The purple one, that's the Calmer blend. So Thinker was yellow. The purple Calmer blend, that's a great one to use at nighttime or during like a really emotional time, right? So as our kids are growing, they don't know how to communicate and they have outbursts, temper tantrums, all sorts of things. Grab the purple, grab Calmer, show them how to put it on, and show them that they need to calm down and take a deep breath. And just by breathing and calming down is teaching them those skills of self-soothing and supporting themselves, that self-care. The blue one is Rescuer. That's like the kids' version of Deep Blue. And that one is great for aches and pains, growing pains when they're starting to grow really fast, have them rub it on their knees and their joints, or bruises if they fall down and they have some bad bruises. That Rescuer is really going to go to work and help support any inflammation or owies that they have. So the red is called Stronger, and that's the kids' immunity blend. That's the kid version of On Guard. And it's going to help support their immune systems. So they can use that one every single day, every morning before they go to school. The tamer blend is the tummy blend. That's the kid version of Digest Zen. And it has this beautiful smell to it. It's Japanese peppermint or Japanese spearmint that's in it. And I actually keep one on myself because I love the smell of that over the smell of Digest Zen. So for me, I prefer using tamer for small tummy aches. And then if I eat something I'm not supposed to, or overeat, or I'm having a bad tummy ache, I'll grab the Digest Zen and really apply it. But tamer is a great go-to quick version, and it smells so good with that Japanese peppermint. The Brave is a really good emotional blend. This one's got some of the orange. I think has osmanthus in it as well. It is really that courage blend. It's going to support them from that emotional standpoint, that if they feel like they can't do something, or they're scared or they're nervous, say, go get your Brave. Put that on. Again, you're reinforcing that breathing habit of that self-soothe, and you say, you got this. You just put on Brave. Let's go. You can do this. And it helps to boost them from that emotional point. And then same with Steady. The green is the kid version of Balance, and it is going to help level them out, just like the name, steady them out, and help in times of overstimulation and you need to bring them down. I love to put on Steady and Thinker, that's the green and the yellow, when they come home from school. The bus ride home is a huge stimulant, and there's lots going on. They get home, they get green and yellow, they get a quick snack, let's wash hands, let's do some homework, let's get it done and over with, or whatever it may be, if they have chores to do or if it's just playtime. But putting on the green to help balance out, along with the yellow, that was the Thinker, that's going to help prepare them to do homework and to pay attention and to focus. And I didn't tell you, let's see, the purple Calmer blend is the kid version of Serenity, and the yellow Thinker blend is the kid version of In Tune. So those are the kid versions of the adult version blends. And again, pre-diluted, and they're specifically formulated to address the mind, body, and emotions for our children. Let's jump into adolescence. So now our kids are in high school and they're going through puberty, and they're having all sorts of skin issues as well as hormone imbalances, right? Everything is coming together, and they are growing, and we need to support them. So from a exterior standpoint, we have the HD skincare line, and that's going to help really balance their skin as it's changing. And then on the inside, we have the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And that is going to be a replacement of the A to Z and the IQ Mega and the PD Assist Junior. You're going to take those, and those are going to go out now that they're in the adolescence, and they're going to start taking Lifelong Vitality, the PB Assist Regular, and you're going to start introducing Terrazyme. And those are going to work on their skin and their hormones from the inside. And then you get to use that HD Clear on the outside to really help protect their skin. And as you see what's working and not working, you can adjust dosages, but you may also have to look at adjusting some of the things that they consume, right? I know as a kid, I ate nothing but a lot of processed foods. I loved candy. I loved snacks, and it shows. You kind of show what you eat sometimes on your face, right? And as a kid, we don't always get to process it all out. So taking the Lifelong Vitality also is going to have the omegas in it. So you're going to have the XE Omega. That's going to be your 3, 6, and 9, and that's going to help with their brain cognition. It's also going to help with their mental health there. The Alpha CRS, that is going to be their cellular vitality. That's the antioxidant powerhouse that's really going to come in and help with the oxidative stress. That's going to really help as they are developing from that cellular standpoint. And then the Microplex VMZ, that's going to be their new food, whole food nutrient, vitamins and minerals. You could start them out on a half dose. And as they go into different transition periods, like for females, as they transition into having their monthly cycle, you can increase the dose during their cycle to support their body as they're going through a very difficult week. So there's a lot that you're going to be able to start doing using these natural products and going from the kid versions, the diluted versions, into these whole food. They're still diluted, but and still half dose, but now you're really getting them prepared for their habits as an adult to protect themselves, to support those stages of life. And then let's talk again about a diffuser, right? As they are older, make sure our kiddos have diffusers in their rooms, so they're diffusing during each these stages. I know when you're growing up, you feel like some of these events that you go through, it's the end of the world, or you didn't get invited to this gathering, or you lost the big championship game, and you come home with such emotion and such burden. Make sure you have a diffuser going in their room for them to just take the edge off, to just give them a teeny bit more support so that they don't go into those dark headspaces. Clary Calm, I know it says Women's Monthly Blend on it, but that is for all. It can be used for men, women, children. It just helps with that consistent hormone support. And it's going to talk to the endocrine system specifically. So even though it's been formulated and it says Women's Monthly Blend on it, if you are noticing hormones are on the rage, the Clary Calm Roller for male or female is fantastic. I noticed that when I am going through my monthly cycle, my daughter has heightened emotions, heightened hormones. And I think it's just because we live in the same house, right? And so she's experiencing some of those. So when I use Clary Calm, she gets also a little bit of Clary Calm. I just dilute it further for her because that's a good adult dose, and I dilute it for her as a 6-year-old. Okay, so now the lifelong vitality. This is probably one of the most important foundational pieces you can have when you're looking at supporting your body with healthy products. And you're going to feel its benefits in every area, from increased energy to the mental clarity, overall inflammation reduction in the body. Your digestive system's going to work a little bit better. I noticed when I started taking the Lifelong Vitality, and I hate taking pills. I am a big wuss, and I have to use applesauce pouches or mama chia seed pudding, all sorts of things just to get them down. I gag. I have tried every single supplement on the market and tried to jump on the bandwagon, invested money in it, and it lasts 2 weeks at most, and then I'm like, I don't feel any different. I'm not going to try it. Lifelong Vitality came into the picture, and I thought, okay, here's another one. I'll just try it and see. Well, I tried it, and when I stopped taking it is when I noticed the difference. I noticed that I was far more sluggish. I was far easier to a lot more emotion, and my digestive system wasn't as happy. I didn't get as good sleep, so I went back on it and then went off it again, just trying to kind of check and see if this is something that was truly working for me. And it was night and day difference. My family was the one that noticed it. They were the ones that said, don't stop taking your Lifelong Vitality, mom or wife. Like, you are a better human being when you're on this. You regulate better. You have a few more seconds of thinking before you respond, as well as I just was overall a little bit more apt at my daily life. I've always been a happy person. It was just kind of I find joy easy in my life, but around 19 or so, things started shifting and changing. And it was like I had to kind of pretend that my joy was still there. It didn't come as natural. I had to work so much harder to be happy. It just didn't come naturally. And I would wake up and be like, okay, I have a whole nother day ahead of me. And so I did. I went and actually saw a doctor to find out. I was hoping they could tell me, oh, you have a thyroid problem, or, oh, you have this problem. So I could put a problem to why I was feeling the way I was feeling. But ultimately, it came down to I just didn't have good hormone regulation. My hormones were misfiring. I had a lot of toxicity in my body. I was obsessed with Bed Bath and Beyond and had every single lotion and every single perfume you possibly could have. And that was messing because they're known endocrine disruptors. That was messing with my system, messing with my body, with my emotional health, because I was coating myself in it constantly. And so when I started taking Lifelong Vitality, I was detoxing and I got all those toxins out. And now my hormones are starting to talk to each other and they're sending and receiving signals adequately. I have the right levels of omegas in my body for my brain health and for my mental health. And I'm actually getting the nutrients and vitamins that I needed because our food just doesn't have it anymore. It's not even in the soil for it to be grown into the food for us to consume. We would have to take in so much more food. Like it used to say 3 to 6 cups of healthy greens a day. It would have to actually be more like 10 to 12 cups of healthy greens a day just to get your daily value that you need. We can't even afford to buy all that food, let alone hold it all in our stomach. So our food is just not nutrient dense. Our food just doesn't have what it needs anymore. Therefore, supplementation is a requirement just to maintain and stay out of the malnutrition state. So Lifelong Vitality is your answer for your foundation for various things. And it's doTERRA's #1 product, right? They're going to give you a 30-day trial. And then if you don't like it and you don't get benefits and you don't feel different, send it back for a 100% money back guarantee. Nobody does that though. So you'll join the club with us. You'll try it, try to prove them wrong, and you're going to feel amazing. All right, and then let's talk about Terrazyme and lemon. So the Terrazyme is that enzyme that we were talking about earlier for the pregnant mama that, as you don't have as much space and your body's kind of all out of whack and things are all changing, that Terrazyme is going to help you process your food. And so as we age, we don't make enough enzymes to process our food. We need help. We need help with the enzyme support. Taking a Terrazyme with meals or even just before meals. And if you forget, you can take it after and it's still going to support you. It's really great to take when you're processing really complex carb, high fatty foods. Like if you're going to go to Olive Garden and you're going to get the 2-meal deal with refills on your breadsticks, you're going to take 2 to 3 Terrazyme either right before or during that meal to really help support the processing of it so that you're not going to be plugged up for a day or two. And then lemon, right? It is super good to drink in your water. And just a quick safety note, when you do drink it in your water, you're going to want to use glass or stainless steel. If you drink it out of plastic, it's going to break down that plastic, and then that toxin, those toxins, you'll end up consuming and drinking them in your water. So you want to make sure it's out of glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. And so add 2 to 3 drops of lemon to your water and drink that throughout the day. It's going to help you drink the water because it tastes nice, but it's also going to be super cleansing to your body and help you to eliminate toxins daily, right? You're giving yourself that backup support to help reduce toxins and that intake. Okay, so now I'm going to share just the 3 ways to use it again. So aromatic was that diffuser that we talked about, but we can also just use our hands. These are diffusers right here. You just put a drop or 2 in your hand, rub it together, and cup that around your nose, and you breathe in. You can also just take the cap off and breathe straight from the bottle, and that's going to give you that aromatic effect. Follow that olfactory nerve straight to the brain, and you're going to feel it, and it's going to impact every cell in the body within like 2 minutes. You're going to get that support. Aromatic is also going to be great to cleanse the room and cleanse the environment. I don't know if you guys are like me at all, but if it smells dirty, then it feels dirty. But if it smells clean, then it feels clean. So if you're someone who like, oh, I'm having company, I have to clean my house really fast. If you put the diffusers on and it smells clean and it smells good, it naturally feels cleaner. So it can be something that you can trick yourself that you don't have to go clean your whole house before someone comes over. Just put your diffuser on and it's going to smell really, really good. Citrus Bliss is one that I like to showcase because I can help you get it. If you're a new person during the Diamond Club season, I can help you get the Citrus Bliss for free with your order. And it's going to create an environment that's super uplifting. It smells like an orange creamsicle, and it's going to clean the environment and help get rid of toxic fragrances because it smells super good. But then it also makes you feel invigorated, and it just smells really good. So it's not something that's herbally or anything like that. You can actually have oils that smell super good as well. And then let's talk about topical. So we've talked a lot about the rollers and how we call them touch. So they've already been diluted with fractionated coconut oil. And then we have the lotion, that unscented lotion that you can add oil to and apply topically. And the reason we like to talk about diluting is because it'll make your oil last a little longer, go a little bit further, but also cover larger surface area. So if you just put a drop in your hand, it's going to absorb straight into your hand and maybe the one spot you got it on, but it's not going to spread all the way around. So if you want to cover an entire limb or the whole back, you're going to want to use dilution so that you still only have to use a couple of drops of oil and cover the whole surface. The other reason we talk about dilution and topical application is because it's going to get in through the skin into the bloodstream. And when you're using fractionated coconut oil or a carrier oil, it's going to allow that essential oil to stay on the skin a little bit longer so you continue to use those benefits. Because they are volatile aromatic compounds steam distilled into a little bottle, when you put it on, it's going to evaporate very quickly. So using a carrier oil will allow your body to use it on topically for more targeted support for a longer period of time. And then topical is another great way for targeted support. So we've talked about taking them internally. We've talked about breathing them in aromatically. But if you have a bum knee or a bad back, or in my case, and I know in Deb's case, like our neck pain, right? Topical application is fantastic for targeted support. So you just rub it where it hurts or rub it where you need that targeted support, and the oil is going to go to work supporting from a cellular level and work to give you symptom relief. And lastly is internal. And so we talked a lot about drinking them. Citrus oils are amazing to consume and work for cleansing and reducing toxic levels in the body. Another great point is that we do a lot of cleansing at night. Our bodies naturally are cleansing. So drinking some essential oils before you go to bed is fantastic, as well as the first thing that when you wake up in the morning, just a drop of a citrus oil is really going to help support that cleansing function. And then it supports a healthy digestive tract. So it's also going to set you up for success as your day starts with digestion. So we covered fractionated coconut oil. And this is when we go into talking about the glory years, right? You're going to stay on the lifelong vitality. So once you start it, you stay with it. And the coolest thing about it is typically when you have to start a new medication or you go to the doctor and they prescribe you something, that's usually the first of many. So you're going to take this pill for X amount of time for this reason. But there's usually harmful lasting side effects. So then enters the next pill. So then enters the next pill, and so on and so forth. And by the time you're close to retirement, and you're looking at how much you're spending on the prescriptions every single month, and you're asking yourself, what is that worth? I don't know if you guys have ever heard those commercials where they say, here, take this supplement or take this pill, take this medication for this reason, but beware of these side effects. And they list like 20 things. And I'm thinking, I have one problem here. It may be a serious one. I have one problem here. But if I take a medication to help that one problem, I'm going to have 20 problems over here. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I want to do that? Especially the ones that are like, okay, you take this pill to clear up your skin because maybe your skin doesn't look so good. But now you're going to have dry mouth. You might have blood in your stools. You're going to vomit all the time and you're going to pee your pants all the time. Higher incontinence. I'm thinking, well, what's worse? All these secret hidden problems that cause me to have to stay home all day long, or my skin. And if I change my diet, then my skin has a chance of clearing up, because your skin is a direct reflection of what we consume and what we eat. So anyways, I'm sorry, that was a total tangent. But as you age, the lifelong vitality is not only going to continue to be your foundation and be the only thing that you need, but it's going to help to support everything else in your body as you age. That alpha CRS, that's your vitality. That's that cellular vitality. It's going to help support those cells do their job. The cells in your body give cell mitosis and rebirth, and cell apoptosis, that's cell death. And when we rebirth bad cells and we don't kill bad cells, that's when things go awry in the body. And taking the alpha CRS for that cellular vitality, that's going to be what helps to support you. And then it's also going to help to just protect you as you age. As you get hurt, you're going to heal better and faster. As you change and go through different stages of life, that lifelong vitality pack is going to support those changes and make them easier as you reach them. And then again, fractionated coconut oil, as your skin is thinning, diluting the essential oils is going to be more beneficial as you have thinning skin. So just keep that in mind. And then the bone nutrient complex, right? We know that we need to maintain healthy bone mass and density, and that's hard to do, especially as women. If you've had babies, your bones get depleted sometimes. If you don't have the right amount of vitamin D and calcium and magnesium in your body while you're growing that baby, your body will steal from itself and give it to that baby. So sometimes post-birth, you can be more susceptible to osteoporosis. You can be more susceptible to bone health problems. And so we need to be able to bring in something like this bone nutrient complex that's going to provide 100% of your daily recommended amounts of calcium, magnesium that you need to support that healthy bone density. You also will be able to feel stronger, so that when you exercise and you're walking and you're getting out and getting some of that daily exercise, that's going to be pulling on the bones, strengthening them. So as you exercise, muscle is what is going to strengthen your bones. So you're going to want to take something that's going to support that. So that's that bone nutrient complex. Okay, so we have covered infancy and pregnancy. And then the elementary years, right, our young kiddos, and then moving into adolescent years, and then just being an adult, and then moving into our glory years. And the basis of all of this is that we use our oils in 3 ways. We're going to use them aromatically, internally, and topically. We're going to be taking supplements that support all the systems of the body, and then we're going to be putting it on our skin, getting it into the bloodstream, and getting that targeted support that we need. So that is the end of the continuing education, oils for every age. But while I have your attention, I'm going to steal some more of your time, and we're going to jump into a quick business overview. That way, if you ever are interested in building this as a business and using doTERRA as a launch pad, you will have this education briefly. So, talking about building your pipeline and looking at doTERRA as a way to kind of get out of the rat race and have residual income and having passion with it too, right? If you love oils as much as I do, it doesn't really feel like a job. It feels like an opportunity to love people and to share with people. And so building doTERRA has done that for me. So there are typically 3 types of people that I am interacting with these days when it comes to essential oil usage. And the first type of person loves to live the wellness lifestyle. And most of you in this class, since it's a continuing education class, have product. And you are so excited to live this lifestyle of wellness and that proactive approach to health. And that launches you and moves you into the second category of sharing with other people. It's like when you go to a restaurant and you have a steak and it's the best steak of your life, you tell everyone, go have that steak at this restaurant. It was so good. It's the same thing with these oils. You experience change and you feel better. You start talking about it because it made a difference. So that means you get launched into that second category of being a sharer, someone that is so excited about the natural, the wellness that they've received. You start sharing with people, And if you share with enough people, doTERRA says, here you go, I'll help you get all of your products paid for. And then after you shared with people, you're like, hey, this cool little amount that I'm helping to get my products paid for, I think I want to use this and actually build a lasting income while making a huge impact. And that's when you find yourself in that third category. And you choose to build and make an impact with these essential oils. So, where are you at, right? Are you in the traditional job or considering looking at direct sales? I find that in a traditional job, you're trading hours for dollars, right? You have a limit, a ceiling on how much you can make, and somebody else is telling you what you're worth because of that piece of paper or that job code, right? You can't go beyond what that definition of that position is unless you try to get a new job or you apply for a promotion. But even then, they're going to be incremental raises. And you have limited time freedom. You have to ask for permission to take time off, and it can be denied. And you're kind of working for someone else's dream. You may love your job. It may be a good job, and maybe you love the people you work with, but ultimately, you're still building someone else's dream. So when you look at that viewpoint and transition to an authentic direct sales viewpoint, you have the potential for true residual income. When you have a job, you work. And when you stop working, the paychecks stop coming. With a direct sales, it's all up to you how much effort you put in and how much time you put in, and the effort that you do put in will be paid. So if you treat it like a business, you'll be paid like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you'll be paid like a hobby. But that's the beauty. It's up to you. You get to choose. There's no limits on advancement. There's no limits on your earnings. It's going to be matched with your effort. So you're in complete control. You have freedom to choose your schedule, when you want to work, when you don't want to. And you get to pick your dreams. You get to actually start dreaming again. What could I do if I didn't go to work 5 days a week from this time to this time? What could I do? So a direct sales opportunity gives you belief in yourself, belief in your dreams again. And if you work hard enough, you will achieve it. You just have to set your schedule and figure out how you're going to. And so why partner with doTERRA, right? We know there's a lot of other direct sales companies out there, but why doTERRA? Why partner with doTERRA? One, the product speaks for itself. The product is amazing. It's changing people's lives. It's changing people's health. It's changing the way we look at medicine today. Not only is it natural and safe and affordable, but it can be partnered with modern medicine. You don't have to just take one or the other. You can now partner things together and get the best of the both worlds. doTERRA's oils and products are the most tested and the most trusted. They have the certified pure therapeutic grade standard that they created because there wasn't one. We weren't held to a standard. There was no regulations in place. So anybody could say anything and it would just be a label. But it wasn't pure, it wasn't potent, and it wasn't going to help you from a health standpoint, especially not consistently. So doTERRA's does. Every time you grab that bottle, it's going to do what we say it's going to do. That bottle is going to support you no matter what because of that CPTG testing. If it doesn't meet those requirements, it doesn't get bottled. And if you want to see the test results, you can. You have that QR code, you scan the bottle. We also know that the FDA's even approved it. It has that supplemental facts label. Not that we need their approval for this kind of stuff, but hey, guess what? We have that too. So it shows that its potency, its purity, its quality is there. And then we have over 8.5 million customers. I think the number is up to 9.2 million actually right now, but we know at least it's 8.5 million customers. And it's used by doctors and hospitals worldwide now. It is accepted in the medical community. doTERRA is even partnered with oncology departments throughout the world. They are also working with all sorts of universities and helping with their medical curriculums and the things that they get to do. Essential oils are being integrated into all of these processes, and we're just getting started. They are the largest essential oil company in the world, and the growth rate is similar to the Apple company, where we hit $1 billion in 7 years. Most of the ratings are only done at 10 years. So you can't even, we don't even play in the same ballpark because we hit it in 7. And we're actually over a billion now. I think we're 2 billion in the United States alone. That's not even including the international markets. And the retention rate, that is probably one of the biggest kickers when you're looking at a direct sales company, because our product is something that helps people with daily consistent use. It's a consistent consumable. And when people feel better, they're going to continue reordering. And so we have a record breaking retention rate of 65% compared to the average industry rate of only 13%. When you look at other direct sales companies, sometimes their product, you only need one time. You don't need to buy it over and over and over again. And so this is replacing the things that we buy every day. And we're just teaching other people how to do that as well. And so we've created partnerships with the growers all around the world, with the chemists and the scientists and all these people around the world for the best, purest, highest quality product. And the beautiful part about that partnership is that doTERRA doesn't just come in and say, hey, I like your product, I like your oil, we'll pay a fair wage. They come in and they say that, and then they say, what do you need? How can I serve you? You need clean water source? Done. You need a hospital, you need a school, you need living arrangements for this community. And then they work out payment plans so that they pay them in advance so that they can provide for their families, regardless of the harvest season, regardless of all these things. And then they created the Healing Hands Foundation, which is a whole nother thing that I could get into about the work that they can do. They're a true global citizen. They're also privately owned, which means we're not traded on the stock market. They have complete control. They still can do their mission and get oils in every home. And they're debt free, no outside funding. So we have some amazing leaders that really truly support this company and the confidence that we hold and where we're going. That's why you want to partner with doTERRA. They're proven, their retention rate, they're growing. Even in the harshest of times, we're still growing, and they're caring. They care for everyone. All right, so I know I talked a little bit about hauling buckets earlier. I mentioned, so the story around the example around hauling buckets versus a pipeline is that residual income. So when you go to a 9 to 5 and you're hauling buckets, you're filling up that pail. And when you stop hauling those buckets, you stop getting your income. But if you build that pipeline, you just turn on the spigot and the water continues to flow. So if you wanted more money while you're hauling buckets, you just keep hauling buckets. And you can haul more buckets and more buckets and more buckets. But eventually you're going to get tired and you don't want to keep hauling them. But when you stop, the income stops. So creating that pipeline to be able to receive residual income is that secret sauce that we're all looking for, right? And that's what doTERRA has to offer us. That's what they're offering us, that opportunity through their direct sales market. And how do you make money? With doTERRA, it's in 4 simple steps. You sample, you share these oils with people, you give them an experience, and then you teach. Just like we are right now, you just teach about the product and teach about the opportunity. You help them to enroll so that they can get their products at wholesale, just like their Costco membership, 25% below retail. They shop when they want to shop. They get what they want to get when they want to get it. And then you support them. You help educate them. If they purchase these oils and they're not educated, they're not plugged into a team, they'll just sit on a shelf or they'll sit out of sight, out of mind. So that support role is super important. Teaching people, hey, this is how you use that oil. This is how you can support yourself. This is how you can support your neighbors or your kiddos or your family. And after time, then the support role kind of lessens, but you get to impact their lives. You get to help them impact other people's lives through you having that conversation and just being courageous in asking, hey, do you want to try a sample? It's that easy. You just sample them, you help teach them how to use it, teach them to get their own account, and then just continually support them. Those 4 easy steps over and over and over again.